Yo, 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 we back with another MAMAMOO fucking video. About to watch the girls and I'm singing every day. Yeah. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another reaction video. So this one comes from none other than 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬. Welcome back, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬. This one comes from 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬. We are ranking MAMAMOO members as vocalists. So who's the best vocalist? I think this is gonna be very analytical. I'm not choosing biases. Maybe personal opinion. I like 𝐒𝐲𝐻's voice. My chest. They're all amazing singers. Okay, they're all very great singers. That's undeniable. But in this video, we are ranking them as vocalists, as singers, as vocal capacity. It's how well they can sing. Their ranges, so I'm guessing, quote unquote. But this is ranking MAMAMOO members as vocalists. Who's the best by Ain't No Other Fan. Ain't No Other Fan. I'm gonna link his channel in the description, so definitely go check that out. Again, if you guys want to be able to request videos that definitely get reacted to, definitely check out the link in the description and become a Patreon. You get a lot of perks over there. You can go read more about that over there. It's a paid way to support the channel, but you have multiple free ways to support the channel and get your videos reacted to. You can join the Discord server. You can drop a comment. You can hit that subscribe button. A lot of things go into me reacting to whatever it is you guys recommend. You know what I mean? Anyways, ranking MAMAMOO members as vocalist. Who's the best member?
Linton Wilson presents to you another banger.
Back, so I made this type of video
Solar
for
Hwasa,
Blackpink, Fifth Harmony,
Win,
Mix, and under each of these
Moon.
videos you guys made it pretty clear you wanted me to do MAMAMOO. I couldn't pretend that I don't see these comments anymore. So here's the video for you guys. Because I hadn't heard anything from MAMAMOO before, I had to do some research, make myself familiar with the group, and who knows,
he's like me
I
after
enjoy
listening to them
as much as I do now. Also, quick shout out and thank you to Zach from the K-pop fan who helped me to find some of the clips to make this video. Thank you so much, bro. You're awesome. Back to the video.
No, you're
Yes,
awesome
this is
for
my
making this
opinion.
video.
However, my opinion is not based on my personal preference, but on what I hear. Vocals and vocal technique.
Exactly. Remember, he makes a good candidate for, you know, judging vocals. And the reason I say that is because he has fresh ears. When you listen to something for a very long time, your ears become adapt to that sound. So when you're listening to it, it's like, oh yeah, this is normal to me. You know, this is good. This is what I like. But when you have fresh ears and when you're going into something for the first time, you can make analytical decisions and very precise, you know, commentary about what it is you listen to. It's better to go in with fresh ears than, you know, ears that have been used, if that makes sense to you.
Opinion is not based on my personal preference, but on what I hear. Vocals and vocal technique is all that matters in this video. Instead of just telling you who I think is the best overall and why, so I'm gonna divide the ranking into 4 sections. And these will be lower range, belts, riffs and rounds.
That's a nice costume, Solar. That dress.
My goal going into all this is not to have any bias. At the end of the video, I will tell you who my favorite member is. Let's see if you can guess. Before we get into all this, I'd like to make a quick introduction to each of the members, without any particular order. If you are familiar with the group enough, feel free to skip that part and go right into the ranking.
I'm not gonna skip for you guys.
So, 𝐒𝐲𝐻.
𝐒𝐲𝐻!
Singer. Her voice oozes with charisma, personality, sex appeal, and style. It is definitely the most recognizable voice of MAMAMOO.
The most stylish part about 𝐒𝐲𝐻's voice is her raspiness and her ability to control it like no other. She can slip into cracks in her voice and she can implement that in the sense where it just sounds so nice. It's so well to the ear. Like, she cracks her voice purposely. Do you know how hard it is to control a crack while you're singing and make it work? 𝐒𝐲𝐻 does that effortlessly.
Charisma, personality, sex appeal, and style. It is definitely the most recognizable voice of MAMAMOO. 𝐒𝐲𝐻 naturally has a deeper, richer, and more mature voice. However, she can sound more bright and sweet when she wishes to.
I still think she's making use of that bass in her voice. You see that rasp? Those high notes, okay. She's singing up there. I don't know if that's her head voice or if that's her falsetto range. Falsetto meaning fake voice. Technically, because 𝐒𝐲𝐻 naturally has a deep voice, a very baritone, maybe tenor voice. Yeah, I would say 𝐒𝐲𝐻 is like in the tenor range, but she can drop to the baritone if she wants to. Like, I've seen her do it.
Moving on to 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 has
Queen.
a very crystal clear,
My
bright and
artistic
useful voice,
artistic
but not
queen.
too piercing or irritant. Her delivery tends to be very elegant, floral, and sophisticated.
Yeah, why can I hear the piano in my left ear and 𝐿 in my right ear? If you're not using headphones, go put on headphones right now and listen back to that. This isn't okay. This isn't okay. This isn't right. Ah, it feels so weird. Ooh.
Next, we have our main and the only rapper of the group, Moonpyeol. I
Moonpyeol,
really have so much
let's
respect
go.
for her. Despite the fact that she's a rapper, many singers could take notes from her.
I want to
She
pause.
possesses
I want to add on to what he's saying. I have so much respect for Moonpyeol. I was having a conversation with a friend not too long ago, and me and her were basically discussing Moonpyeol, her character. You know, even if she went off solo, I believe Moonpyeol would have a very fantastic career. Not only maybe in fashion, just in what she stands for. You know, her and Hwasa, they stand, all of MAMAMOO actually, but Moonpyeol, you know what she stands for, her gender roles, supporting the LGBTQ community, you know, and just her belief systems. You know, it's very nice to follow somebody with such adamant and strong belief systems. You know, personally, I like Moonpyeol because of what she stands for. She doesn't take shit from people, and that's what I like. And she's also a big ass goof. I like that too.
possesses respect for her. Despite the fact that she's a rapper, many singers could take notes from her. She possesses a beautiful, lower, darker and slightly husky, smoky voice. Because she's naturally the least developed and practiced in singing, she's not gonna rank high, but I really want to appreciate her skills.
Moon may be the least developed singer, quote unquote, but Moon still has a very beautiful voice.
Singing, she's not gonna rank high, but I really want to appreciate her skills.
Oh, that riff on that guitar.
And 𝐿𝐴, the leader of the group.
Solar,
known for
yes
her
sir.
strong, robust voice and powerful delivery. With that being said, 𝐿𝐴 is not a one-trick pony, as she can sound more delicate and soft as well.
Solar is one of those singers that's really all over the place. She can drop in tone. She can go really high. She can sing freaking opera. I don't know a tone, a style that Solar cannot sing.
Said 𝐿𝐴 is not a one-trick pony, as she can sound more delicate.
I agree
and
with you
soft as
there.
well.
Ah.
Okay, so that will be all for the introduction. Now the ranking. We'll start with lows, and right away I have to say,
I'm also letting you guys know this from now. If I do disagree, I disagree, but then again, that's my personal opinion. If he's completely accurate, I'm going to agree. But if he's not accurate, I'm going to disagree. No, you know, fighting in the comment section, no beefing in the comment section. We don't do that over here. So if you're gonna come in the comment section with hate to other people for their opinions, I'm gonna delete your comment. It's that simple. We don't do hate over here. It's all love, all positivity. So none of that shit. All right, you can humbly agree or humbly disagree. If you wanna state your opinion and just completely disagree and be biased against something, you know, you can leave that in our Discord server. You can have your arguments over there. But comment section, we don't fight over here. We just discuss, we talk, we appreciate everybody's opinion. A good family out here.
now the ranking. We'll start with lows, and right away I have to say MAMAMOO have really strong lower registers. Number 4.
Why is the screen dark?
There's
Oh, there we go.
so much potential to unlock here. This is a very safe and comfortable area for Moonpyeol. She seems to rely mostly on her natural ease rather than vocal technique. Still, it is already a pretty solid and promising lower register.
I don't really think she's a mezzo soprano, because mezzo is like in between alto and soprano. I want to say Moon's just in the alto range, but she can sing some soprano notes. That's what I'm gonna say. Unless I'm completely wrong there.
Number 3, 𝐿𝐴. Her well-developed and strong chest voice helps a lot with lows. 𝐿𝐴 has a good lower register for soprano. She tends to over-push when getting closer to the extremes of her lower range, but she generally performs well in her more comfortable range.
Oh, I like that. So Solar's an interesting topic because Solar can sing everywhere. Solar has such a wide range when it comes to her vocals. I feel like it's very hard to pinpoint what it is she is because she can do everything in that sense. So I want to see what he says for this one. I love you who made me love like this.
Number 2, 𝐒𝐻𝐻. 𝐒𝐻𝐻 seems to be really confident about her lower register. It is an easily accessible area for her. 𝐒𝐻𝐻 is not afraid to reach some considerable lows. The technique could be stronger, but 𝐒𝐻𝐻's lower register is still an asset for her.
I mean, if we're talking about that's very practical. If the technique can be stronger, then every singer on this earth's technique can be stronger because nobody has mastered the lower register. I mean, so you can sing confidently in the lower register, but it doesn't mean you've mastered it. And that's almost every singer here, so that's not very practical. If I had to rank them in who can sing the best in the low range, my personal opinion is 𝐒𝐻𝐻. 𝐒𝐻𝐻 has absolute control over that low range. It's not only how she speaks, it's how she talks. If anything, I would assume, you know, 𝐿 would be the one in the lower register if I just heard 𝐿 speak. But when you hear 𝐿 sing, she doesn't sing that low, and it scares the shit out of me. I'm like, how do you speak like that but sound like this? You speak like this, but you sound like a goddamn angel. It doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. But that's just how it is. So I would say if I had to rank them in terms of the lower register, I'm saying 𝐒𝐻𝐻, Moonbyo, Solar, and then 𝐿. Could be wrong. Again, this is an opinion. You don't have to agree. You don't have to disagree. We're not fighting over here. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't come for my throat. Don't do it.
Technique could be stronger, but 𝐒𝐻𝐻's lower register is still an asset for her.
Okay, I see what he means. Oh, she sang this? It's in my right ear again. Yes. She has the most extensive lower range in the group.
You wouldn't maybe expect 𝐿, who has the most highly toned voice, to be the most technically developed in the lows department.
Right?
But it seems to be the case here. 𝐿's lows have a nice projection to them, they sound healthily rounded, she's consistent. Even while reaching the extremes of her range, 𝐿 doesn't overpush her voice, but tries to sing with the same healthy approach she has a little bit higher in her range.
The Traveler resting at the ridge of the mountain. I've never seen this performance. May have to check that out. Wow. She's making it seem so effortless too.
Moving on to belts.
Wow.
Number 4, Moonbyo. Moonbyo may not be a very impressive belter. However, the fact that the main rapper of MAMAMOO displays as much control as she does says a lot.
Ooh, Moon.
Number 3.
I love when Moon's in the studio recording by herself. It's like you can see a bit of nervousness on her, but when she's just with the whole group, she just seems so confident, and I love that. I love that about Moon.
𝐒𝐻𝐻 seems to have a pretty strong and healthy foundation when it comes to belting, as she's delivered some clear and relaxed belts on numerous occasions throughout the years. She kind of gets lost when she's reaching a bit higher, picking up different types of unhealthy tension. Also, some of these stylistic choices she makes put unnecessary stress on her voice, leading to a more strained and constricted sound. sound. I also think that
I
all
mean,
the time
that's the things I kind of hate about uniform singing. Like, if you take singing lessons and stuff like that, they tell you the practices to do, and then they idolize this certain way of singing, you know, and they kind of push away stylistic singing, and you're like, that's not a good way to sing. But it's fucking music, you know. I don't feel like music should be categorized as this is amazing, this is amazing, this is amazing. It's the same concept with mumble rapping. Some mumble rappers are completely shit in my opinion. Like, I don't like the sound, but other mumble rappers, I do like the sound. And it honestly comes down to opinion. So for one person to go out their way and say, you know, this is the right way to be singing, or this is the right way to be doing this and that, it's kind of, it's a shitty way to say that you hold values over stylization. Stylistic music is good music. When an artist is stylized, that's what makes them a unique artist. Even in the eyes of classical traditional singers, they're like, oh, this is amazing. Again, that's something that you were taught was amazing. I strongly disagree with what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that because she stylizes her voice in a certain manner, it's not as good as it can be. But that stylization in her voice allows her to be as good as she should be, or as good as she is, you know? Why do you have to push for that extra little bit more? Like, this is who she is. This is what. Like, of course everybody can improve, but this is what makes her her. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm like a bit 50-50 with what he said here. Let me know how you feel about that.
her rasp may have started to get a little bit out of control.
You see what I mean when I say she cracks? Like, I'm she's doing it purposeful though. I don't feel like it's her getting out of control. You can tell that she's doing it purposeful. I don't know why that kind of reminded me of CL from 21. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so now he's saying, so those were healthy examples of her getting lost in her own singing habits. Now he's saying an actual look into Hwasa's actual issues. So I want to see what he puts up for that. I get that, but that's a common issue among singers.
Number 2, Solar.
And this is probably the only example of Hwasa not doing something intentionally that I've seen throughout the Hwasa clips. Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't really see anything that was too, you know, not healthy that Hwasa was doing.
Number 2, Sola. Here we have quite a bit of a technical gap. So Sola reminds me a lot of 𝐒𝐈 in terms of her style. Her belts are on the heavier, more pushy side. That in itself is not a big issue, clearly, as Sola has many fantastic, powerful belted notes when she's able to maintain her technique despite her quite aggressive approach. This approach may make her sound more shouty at times, and it also makes higher belts more difficult to reach. It also leads to fatigue, something that recently has become more apparent for Sola.
Solar's fantastic, powerful, supported mid belts. Okay, Solar, Solar really delivers here, but come on, who is this dude? So good. I agree. Wow. Okay, so now he's saying this is a look at Solar's issues. So her heaviness, her over pushing, and her shouty qua. I can somewhat agree with that. But I can agree with this. Solar's heaviness, over pushing, and shouting quality. I get that. I get that, and I can see what you mean by that. Not fully controlled and developed vibrato. Okay.
Number 1. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬. Although 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 may not have the same power and volume output as Solar, her voice is not quite as large, however the technique is there. Her mid-builds sound easy, well balanced, she packs a punch without ever over pushing. This
I agree with that.
balanced and sustainable approach gives her an edge over Solar when entering the upper belts. Where Solar sounds like her voice becomes more flat and kind of hits the ceiling, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 is able to retain more ease, tone, space and flexibility.
You know, I can see what he means by that. In Piano Man, I heard that. I heard that. Okay, I get what he means about that. Yo, we ain't got some rasp on her too. I didn't even take that in. God damn. Wow. Something that I've noticed through this video that actually opened my eye, 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 seems very in control with whatever range she's singing in. She has a naturally deep voice, but she can go really high. She can also go very low. She can control those mid-ranges tones too. I haven't really seen a flaw in 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬 so far, so I'm very curious as to what he points out. The difference in approach between, hold on. The difference in approach between Solar and 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬. That was a beautiful vibrato. If you don't know what a vibrato is, it's basically they're jumping up between majors. I mean, they're jumping up between sharps and flats. Between the scale, they're just like vibrating between up and down, majors, minors. That's all they're doing. It's so beautiful though. Wow.
Next we dive into riffs and runs. Number 4, 𝐿. Now I don't really have to say much here because 𝐿 herself doesn't really riff, as I wouldn't even expect her to. Number 3, Solar. So Solar has some agility. She tends to go for more simple runs, which works for her.
I feel like she's staring into my soul.
Limits, doesn't attempt things that would be too complicated.
Solar, makes sense.
Which is smart.
That was nice.
Number 2, 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸. 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸 is more confident about her skills. She riffs more frequently, she's quicker, and attempts more complex runs. While the execution isn't always super slick, the potential is there.
Yo, it keeps going in my right ear and it keeps freaking me the hell out.
Slick, the potential is there.
I love the mood for that scene just now.
Number 1, 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸. 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻's agility is generally polished and consistent. She uses it in a smart, not too much in your face way. The runs aren't the most complex, but she displays a really nice control, and that's a big asset for 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻.
Oh.
And now upper range. Number 3,
Okay, what I'm gonna do at the end, I'm gonna give you guys my ranking and I'm gonna draw it for you guys.
𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸. Again, I don't have a lot to say here really. Number 2, I've decided to go for a tie here, 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻 and 𝐻𝐸𝐻. I'd say they may not be exactly equal in terms of their skills, but they could be more or less equal. For both of them, their upper range is not their main biggest strength. Number 1, no one's really surprised here, 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻. 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 easily takes this one. The most comfort and control. Take a listen.
Oh, she can hit whistle notes. What? I completely forgot. Wow.
So, MAMAMOO is a serious, vocally oriented group. Who's the best technically? It comes pretty clear that it most likely is 𝐻𝐸𝐻. Now, outside of the ranking, my favorite member is 𝐻𝐸𝐻. I love her. Her voice, how smart she is about showcasing her strengths, how much of a well-rounded vocalist she is. Honestly, she just takes my breath away. I've seen the comments saying something along the lines of, with MAMAMOO, if 𝐻𝐸𝐻 is not your bias, meaning your favorite, she is your bias record. Basically meaning that she's like your second favorite.
So again, this was by Ain't No Other Fan. So what I'm gonna do here, bring my drawing tablet over here. So I feel like you can't really rank them on such a basis because he was looking at technicality, stylization, he was looking at complexity, and at the end he basically chose his bias, and that's understandable. I'm gonna put them in 3 different rankings because everybody might have the difference. So when it comes to stylization, this is my ranking. So we're gonna rank them in three categories: stylization, complexity. Don't judge my handwriting, I bet yours ain't any better, okay? For stylization, number 1 for me has to be 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻. 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 is very stylized with her voice and how it is she talks and stuff like that. Just the way she sings, it's very stylized, and this is what I just see as a regular fan, just like watching her. This doesn't come from a super technical standpoint, kinda ish musical background, but 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 when it comes to stylization. When it comes to complexity, I am putting 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻. 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻 sings very complex. When it comes to technique, I'm putting 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻. The reason why Moon isn't up here is Moon isn't really a singer. I mean, she is a singer, she's a great singer. In terms of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻, 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻, 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻, I'm putting Moon at the bottom in that category, but Moonbyo is still an amazing singer. It doesn't take away anything from her. So stylization, I'm saying 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 is first. Following 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻, I'm putting 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻. Following 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻, I'm putting 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻. And then following 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻, we have Moon. Complexity, I'm putting 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻 after 𝐿𝐻𝐸𝐻. Actually, I'm kind of debated between 𝐻𝐸𝐻 and 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 for complexity because they sing pretty confident in the same sense. So I think I'm gonna, this is just my opinion by the way, so I'm putting 𝐻𝐸𝐻. So they're tied for number 2 when it comes to complexity. Again, don't yell at me, Moon is still an amazing singer. For technique now, when it comes to technique and how they're singing and playing it safe and knowing what to do and what not to do, after 𝐻𝐸𝐻, I'm putting 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻. 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 is just like, she knows what to do during certain situations. As he showed us in that video, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐻 knows when to bail and when not to bail. and she does it effortlessly. And if you don't really look very specifically about what she did when she was singing, you're not gonna catch it. So after that, I'm gonna put Solar and then Moon. And then if we're going to my bias, oh my god, my handwriting is horrendous. 𝐒𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 Hwasa. Okay. So this is my list. So stylization, Hwasa, that's number 1. Solar, her voice is very stylized and the way she sings is very enjoyable to listen to. Wheein is 3rd, and then Moon is 4th, again because Moon isn't really seen as the singer of the group. She's more of the rapper singer mix. When it comes to complexity, I'm very debated between, you know, Wheein and Hwasa, but complexity, Solar tries to sing the most complex within the group. Her singing is very complex. The notes she tries to hit, her range, oh my god, it's nuts. Wheein and Hwasa, they're tied for complexity. They're tied for complexity because it's a mix of stylization and technique, and I just feel like they're tied in that sense. And then we have Moonbyul at the bottom. For technique though, I solemnly believe Wheein has some of the best technique in the group because I don't see her messing up a lot, and he never really showed many clips of Wheein, you know, bailing, not doing great. So I'm putting Wheein at number 1 when it comes to technique. Hwasa after that, Solar after that, and Moon. I was kind of debating between Hwasa and Solar, tied for technique, but I'm just gonna say Hwasa and Solar. And then again, my bias is Hwasa. Anyways, this is my list. Definitely let me know your guys' list and how you guys felt about his review and his opinion and stuff like that. Again, no harsh comments, no aggressiveness in the comment section. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to request the next video, definitely become a Patreon. The link is up there, or you can check the link in the description. If you guys want to support the channel for free, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Remember, smile more, take it easy. Present moment is all you have, so don't stress about what you got to do in like a month from now. Just relax, take your time, and appreciate what you have, because one day this isn't gonna be here. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Yoshi is so low-key. I don't hear much about Yoshi. We're usually watching treasure stuff. I don't hear much about him. He's so low-key. He's like the, if you guys watch Naruto, do you remember the bug guy? The guy who like his shirt like all over. The bug guy, he's like super low-key. That's Yoshi. I'll put a picture up and you'll see.